Hey Facebook friends, this is Patty Bennett. How are you today? I hope you saw my little preview earlier today that I was going to be popping on and giving you some watercolor pencil tips. I am excited to share that with you today. So while you are popping on, be sure to just go ahead and say hello. Let me know that you're here. If you want to tell me where you're from, that's great. I always love to see where all the viewers are from. So while you are coming on and getting settled and getting ready for some watercolor pencil tips, just wanted to tell you that I am very excited to share these tips with you because when I posted, let's see, it was these two samples on Instagram the other day, they got a huge amount of likes and comments, and everybody was really excited. So I thought, oh, that's great, because I loved these. So I wanted to share them with you. So, hey, Carol Reed is here. Marianne is here. Windy and Gray, Ohio, she says, you know what? It was supposed to be super windy here today, and there's zero wind. Nothing. Yesterday was windy. So I don't know. You just never know about that weather. Hi, Linda. Good to have you with us today. Hey, Sandy. I'm just reading the comments over there. And I think I'm just going to check on my, yep, just checking over there on my iPad to make sure that everything was going okay. So if you joined me on the weekend, I was sharing these samples with you, and I was coloring these with the Stampin' Blends and with the watercolor pencils. And those are from the kit called Lots of Happy. So you get all the supplies to make these beautiful cards, and you get 4 of these sheets. They're actually black and white, and I colored all of this in. So that's what I was showing with you on the weekend when we were stamping together. And then after that, when I was done with that, I had stamped some of these with this stamp. And let me show you the stamp set. It's called Petal Palette. This is half of the set. The other half of the set has greetings. It's a nice big set. So I was stamping this. Now, when you want to watercolor, you need to use the archival black ink pad. So that's what I did. I stamped with the archival black, basic black, on thick whisper white, and then I was coloring them in. So I've got that ready, and I wanted to give you some tips and show you how I did that. So I'm going to flip the camera down so that you can see those tips. And hi, Connie. Hi, Donna. Hi, Debbie. Just checking on everybody that's there. That's fabulous. I'm so glad that you're with me. So let me go ahead and flip the camera. Real high-tech business here. Looks like nail polish. Yeah, I know, and I didn't do anything. I don't know what that is. That is just nuts. Well, yeah, if anybody knows, oh, thanks, don't worry about it. Okay, if anybody knows how to get rid of those crazy dots, you can just tell me, because I have no clue why those dots are on there. Isn't that the weirdest thing? Okay, well, we're going to ignore the dots, and we're just going to go with this. So I'm really sorry about that. That is just, I've never seen that before. That is sort of the craziest thing. Yeah, I know. Sarah, you're right. Technology can be great when it works, but okay, so we're ignoring the dots. I am super sorry about that, but I do have the stamped images here, like I said, with this stamp from the Petal Palette stamp set, stamped in the black archival ink. And one tip for you, if you're stamping a bunch of images that you want to color, write down what you stamped in, because if you were wanting to stamp and color with your Stampin' Blends, then you would want to be using your Memento ink. And if you get those two pieces of paper mixed up that are stamped in different inks, you're going to have a problem. You're not going to be able to color with water or with blends. So I always just write down what I did. This is the one that I colored and posted on Instagram. And this is a card that I made with the second one because there is a set of framelits that cuts it right out. Here's the framelit set for Petals and More. And it's this one right here. So it just cuts right like that. And I cut that out so easily. Isn't that fantastic? Yes. So I made this card with some of the petal paper. That, well, I'm sorry, I can't remember the exact name, but this is in the same pack as well. And then this one I had colored with you on the weekend with watercolor pencils, and it's from one of the Memories and More cards. So I just cut it out and I made basically the same design, but just the two different flowers. So what I thought I would do is show you how I colored this one. Oh, this was with the blends. So I just did blending with two colors, I didn't try to do a lot of colors, but I just thought I would show you how that turned out. But I really liked this and wanted to show you how I did that. So I have the pencils here that I used, and they are from just the regular Stampin' Up! Watercolor pencil set, but the Flirty Flamingo and the Lemon Lime Twist are exclusively in this Lots of Happy kit. So if you're looking for those two colors, you do have to get this kit to get these additional two colors. So just so that you know, but the rest of these are in the just the regular watercolor pencil kit. So I also have an Aquapainter and I have water in it. And the other thing I like to have handy is this is just one of those little makeup wipe pads, cotton pads, and I just have it handy so that when I want to squeeze out some water, I can just dab it on here instead of getting my grid sheet all soaking wet. So that's just a little tip for you. And I saw that from another demonstrator, and I don't remember who, but anyway, whoever it was, it's such a fun tip. I love that I can just do that. Oh, and one other tip for you. These are fabulous. These are from the beauty supply store. They have this long tip on there with a hole in the end. And I keep one at my desk. I labeled it water. And I have another one at my desk and I labeled it rubbing alcohol. And I keep these handy because I don't have a sink near me. I have to go through the bedroom and the bathroom. And I mean, I know it's not that far, but still it's handy just to have it right here. So if I need to fill up my Aquapainter, I just undo the end and this tip goes right in there so neatly and you don't have any drips or anything. And then I just put the cap back or the top back on with the brush and ta-da, isn't that easy? And then you may be wondering, well, why do you have rubbing alcohol? Sometimes I will fill one of these with rubbing alcohol because it dries faster than water when you paint with it. But I also have it because when my Wink of Stella starts to run out, there's actually glitter still in there. And if you take it apart, you just unscrew this and then you have to use, I just grab a little tweezers and you pull this little black thing off and then you'll see that there's a hole there and you can fill rubbing alcohol in there. Not a ton. You don't like fill it all the way up, just maybe half at the most, and then cap it and shake, shake, shake. And this will go a long way extra, even though you think it might be empty. So that's why I keep the rubbing alcohol one next to me. So there you go. Just little bonus tips today. And you know what? I forgot to be looking at the comments. So let's see. Okay. So what kind of paper? This is thick Whisper White paper. Thank you for asking that, Deb. And let's see. Oh, somebody says the screen is frozen. Oh, I think it's okay. I hope it's all right. Letitia, the bottles are from, I got them from Sally Beauty, which since you're from the Bay Area, I know you have those local to you, but I don't know in other parts of the country what the beauty supply stores are called, but wherever they would have hair color, wherever a hair color stylist would go, that's where these would be, because I believe that's what they're for, is for hair color. And it actually, yeah, you know what it says under there? It says color applicator, but I covered the word color with rubbing alcohol and with water, so that they are for hair color. Okay, finally, I'm sorry, that was a lot of blah, 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 but those were good tips for you to know, right? So I wanted you to see all those tips before we start coloring. So here's what I'm going to, let me flip it over. This is what I was going to color for you. And I did the 3 flowers in 3 different ways. So I'll just sort of color some of them and show you what I did. So first of all, what I'm going to do is take this Flirty Flamingo one, and this again is the one that only comes in that, what's it called? It's called Lots of Happy Card Kit, which is going to be in the Occasions catalog. And I'm just putting down some color, sort of in little circular motions, and then making sure that there's some water on the tip of my brush. I'm just going to give that a wash, and it just sort of melts that color. I'm barely touching the tip, so I'm not saturating it. I'm just sort of melting that color in. So now while that kind of gets a little bit dry, I'm going to move on to another flower. And with this one, let's just start this one with a yellow wash. And I don't know that these are necessarily going to come out like that. I'm just sort of playing and doing some different ideas here, but I did wipe off that tip so that I didn't transfer the pink, because I want the background of this one to be yellow. And then let's go with a darker pink on this one. And I'm not going to color the whole thing, so we'll do something a little different on this one. And then again, wiping that yellow off and just doing just a little bit there. I'm not going to fill in that whole flower. Now, here comes some fun. You can just take the tip of your Aquapainter and then dab it onto the tip of your colored pencil. And this is where you can start adding some shadows and some extra little bits of color. And remember I have let that pink get a little bit dry because we went ahead and we colored 2 more flowers while it was drying. And you see how I'm adding some extra shading to that. Let me lift it up. I hope that you can see that. So I'm just adding some little extra darkness to that lighter pink one. And we'll let that start to dry. I'm going to wipe off my tip, and I'm going to pick up some of the orange and put some orange color in this one. And I actually do have roses that look like this in my garden. I have several roses that have all these 2 and 3 tones in them, and they're very, very pretty. I really like how they all look. And now let's add some orange to this pink. And do you see how it starts to change the tone of this flower by adding the orange to it? Okay, again, I'll just lift that up so you can see how those different, oops, that stupid pink dot. Again, I'm sorry if you're just joining me. I don't know what those pink dots are on the screen. I don't know what I hit, but I do apologize for that. Okay, so now I'll wipe off the orange and I'm going to go to the yellow and start adding some yellow on top of this one. And the thing about watercolor pencils is if you sort of let the layers dry in between, like I did with this, the next color is sitting on top of the previous color. If you don't use a lot of water and you're just sort of dabbing on some extra color like this, it's not blending, it's just adding color to it. So do you see how all of a sudden I'm getting all of these different colors happening? So now let's try with the deeper red. I think this is the real red. And I'm going to pick up some color and just add some extra some deeper color there. And let's see, I think, yeah, this is real red. And then I'm going to put some in this one. You can also just go in with the pencil and add some color, but I really find that I like this a lot better for adding color. I don't know why, I just like this better. Okay, I'm going to squeeze that off because I want to go to yellow, and I'm going to put some yellow over here where we left that blank area. And really, the drier your brush with this, the better. If your brush is really wet, the color is just not going to sit on top of, it'll blend. So I'm just trying to do this with a fairly dry brush. So, I mean, I could just leave it at that. I'll probably go back and tinker with it a bit and add some more color. But I really love how that looks. And I love how you can get lots of dimension and lots of different color with that. I think I'm going to add a little more. See if I can get the center of this a little darker. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, I forgot to look at comments. Let me just check over here. I'm looking at comments. Thank you. So, have I ever tried coloring? Yes, with the Wink of Stella. You can do basically this same thing just by using your Wink of Stella, and I have done that. And you can pick up the color. In fact, let's just come over here on this one. And we can paint right there with the Wink of Stella. So it's going to do the exact same thing, but as this one dries, it's going to be all sparkly. So you could do that, or you could simply use your Wink of Stella when this is dry and dab on some sparkle. So yes, you could totally do that. Good question. And then for the leaves, I colored in some of the Lemon Lime Twist, which again, remember this one is only available in that Lots of Happy kit. So it's not a pencil that comes in the regular kit. And what I did was I just put a little bit of the Old Olive to mix so that the colors would have just a little bit of depth, not just solid Lemon Lime Twist. And then I'm just sort of patting up and down with the Aquapainter, so not too much smooshing of color, but just letting that color kind of bleed together. And we're going to let that dry just a little bit while we do these, and then I'll go back and I'll add some more color. And I forgot, on these, I did yellow up here. And I don't know about you, but I know that in my garden, my rose leaves often have a little bit of yellow to them, maybe just a little on the tip. Sometimes they have a little bit of red still if the leaves are newer. And so do you see the difference by adding that yellow? I really like that. Let me see if you can see, oops, here we go. If you can see that difference in the color. So this one has more yellow and this had zero yellow in it. And do you see the difference how it sort of picks up with the flowers? I don't know if that's coming across on camera, but it's very pretty in person. And then I think I'll just grab a little bit of this green and just add a little more pigment to these. Just a bit. One tip for you when you're doing this, when you're stroking the tip with the Aquapainter, do not flick, because you will splatter all over your artwork. If you feel like maybe you're starting to do that, move your hand over and do it somewhere else. Do it where your artwork is not under you, because if you, I'll just show you, if you do this, you're going to flick color right onto your project. Now, if you want to flick color on your project, by all means do that, because it is kind of a cool look, but you don't have to, I don't want you to worry about getting that all over your project if you don't want little speckles. So here we go. Here is the finished card, and one that we just painted together, and the other one that I did earlier. You can see that all of them come out differently, and they have different combos, different colors, different tones, but I just love how they come out, and I love doing this. It's so much fun. And I don't know if you noticed on here, but one thing I added was these new epoxy shapes. They're little teardrops, raindrops, or circles. And I added them on a couple places on the roses to look like dewdrops. So just kind of something a little different that I thought is kind of fun. So let me just look over here and see if we had any questions. Oh, Patricia, thank you. And Letitia, thank you. Jeannie, I'm glad you like that. Thank you, Melissa. Sarah, Lori, Sally. Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you like these. Yes, I did like it against the black. I really enjoyed that contrast. And the greetings are in the other half of this Petal Palette set. So this together is the entire set, and it is in the Occasions catalog. So if you're a customer, you will need to wait to purchase this on January 3rd. If you're a demonstrator, you can get it in a pre-order now. And I love this. I could probably sit and color these all day long. So thank you, Carol, Sally, Joey, Vicky, Lisa. Thank you, everybody that has just been joining on. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that gave you a few tips and a way to use your watercolor pencils. I know if you joined me on the weekend, I was blending with the blender pen, and that is certainly an option. I did this card with the blender pen and just 2 colors of watercolor pencils. So that is totally an option with your watercolor pencils. But I do really enjoy the Aquapainter, and it does come in a 2-pack, and you know, unless you're going to paint with both hands at once, you really only need to use the one and just wipe it off like I was doing in between colors and color away. So if you have any questions, I'm just going to wait for a minute here and see if anybody... yes, the DSP is from the Occasions catalog, and I have it right here. Let me grab it. So it is called Petal Passion, and here are the lovely black and white patterns, the one side and the other side. Oh, and there's one over here because I'm about to color this one with my blends. So those are the 6 patterns. I'm sorry, I hope that's not making you too dizzy. And let me flip it again for you. So those are the 6 patterns in the pack, and it's all part of this beautiful suite. It is definitely my favorite. It is gorgeous, and again, it is called Petal Passion, and it will be available all in the Occasions catalog. Thank you for asking that. The note cards, those are this is a pack of vanilla, but they also come in white. It's just called the note cards. They're note cards with envelopes, and they're in the annual catalog. I use these like almost every card I make, and so that is what this size is. It measures 3.5 by 5, I think. Yes, 3.5 by 5, and then the envelopes come with it. So then I just cut a 2-inch piece of paper, and I added some new ribbon. Do you see that new ribbon? Beautiful. And you know what I just saw sitting right here? This is some of the new Celebration ribbon. It's sparkly, and I was just thinking, how gorgeous would that have been on this card? What do you think? I think I will die cut one of these and make another card and use this ribbon. Oh, so pretty. I'm glad I looked over there and saw that, because I think that is going to be gorgeous. What do you think? I know, Deanna, I don't know what those pink splotches are. I touched something, and I don't know what I touched, and I'm so sorry that they're there. I don't know what I did. Sometimes technology is wonderful. Sometimes technology is scary. I'm so sorry about those pink dots. So let's see. Any other questions? Thank you, Michelle. So glad that you're enjoying the Facebook Lives. So any other questions? Thank you for all the little hearts going by. I appreciate that. And if there aren't any more questions, I will just let you all go. But I just wanted to share those tips with you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for the hearts and the thumbs up. And I think that's it. Oh, lots of hearts. Thank you. So sweet of you. So very sweet of you. Okay, when is my next video? Okay, Sally is asking, when's my next video? So here's my problem. I really need to come up with a schedule and go live with you so that you know when to expect me. But what I like to do is, like, for instance, here I am, coloring this flower. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a Facebook Live on this. And so I just pop on and I do one. And I don't have a set schedule. So would that be more helpful to all of you to know that I am going to be live on a certain day and time? If you think so, just comment and let me know. I know it's... I really should do that, but I am just so excited when I'm working on something and then I want to share it. And so I just pop on and I do it. And I don't want to save it for next week. I want to share it with you when I'm working on something. So, yes, that would be great, wouldn't it, to have a schedule? Okay. You know what? I'll work on that, but I also will just be popping on as well. So I love to just share when I'm excited about something. Oh, thank you. Jeannie says no need for a schedule. She loves it when I'm on. The good thing is about these Facebook Live is that they are archived here on my Facebook business page forever. So you can go back and watch them if you don't catch me live. I know it's fun to interact and ask questions, and I like to see who's commenting, and I like to answer your questions. But, need be, you can go back and watch them. And if you're on my business Facebook page, you can click the button that says videos, and you can go back and watch all of them so that you can always be up to date on all the tips and everything. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for your kind words. I am so glad that you enjoyed the tips. And if you need the new catalogs, the occasions and celebration, and you don't have a demonstrator, let me know, because I am always happy to send them. If you already work with a demonstrator, though, I would ask that you ask that demonstrator to provide you the catalog so that they have the opportunity to service you. And, Michelle says since she's in Australia, she mostly gets the reruns. So she's surprised when I'm on. So Michelle, what time is it there for you right now? It must be... because it's 2:30 in the afternoon, California time for me. So I'm just wondering what time it is for you. Yeah, so if you need catalogs, private message me with your address so that I can get those to you next week when they arrive, and then I'll be showing you more new fun things as the time goes on. So, oh, Michelle says it's 9:30 a.m. there, so it must be Wednesday because it's Tuesday afternoon here. So very exciting. Okay, well, I'm glad you caught me, Michelle. I will talk with you all soon. Thank you for joining me. And again, I'm sorry about those pink dots. I have no idea what I did, but they are somewhere on my screen and oh, good grief. Anyway, I will chat with you soon. Bye.